We wouldn't have people who make a lifetime out of mooching off of other people. Instead, we would stop that from happening. Anytime the church abdicates their responsibility and gives it to doctors, the government, or psychiatrists, I can guarantee you that has not been done by an average Christian. But the average pastor is not about to tell the people how they can be set free. Being set free is almost better than being born again. The only thing that is better about being born again is you must be born again before you can be set free. In 8:32, John says, and you will know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. For decades, our school system has been taken over by ungodly people who are promoting communism, rewriting history, have taken God out of schools, replaced God with secular kinds of doings. We have seen an entire generation raised on these principles, and our society already shows the pitiful results of this approach. This isn't the way that it should be, but when the good guys stay silent, this is what happens. The church originally started the educational system in order to help teach people how to read so they could read the Bible for themselves. When the government saw how they were prospering, they decided to take over education. First, our government-run schools reflected godly Christian values. In recent years, we have watched as our schools were changed into a place that bans God. The church should not be giving away the responsibility for educating our children. The government started out on the right foot by using the Bible as their sources. In fact, Harvard and Yale were started by Christians, and they were strong biblical schools. However, the Bible is ridiculed and made fun of today in those same colleges. Our educational system has been hijacked by a bunch of ungodly people who want to worship the devil. And they are raising a group of students who are antagonistic toward God. I believe the Lord will say, "Oh, you faithless and perverse generation, why did you ever turn the education of your children over to the ungodly?" Where is all this stuff going to end? All this ungodliness in our world today has to do with young people being misled and taught the wrong values by our educational system. The church was given the responsibility for our educational system. The church was given the responsibility for ministering to people. The church was given responsibility for mental and physical health. Now, every week, we retreat to buildings that I can only call fortresses. We retreat to these buildings for 1 hour per week. And there we can talk about something that is so far off in the future, it has very little relevance today. This is not the way that God meant for the world to be. The problem facing America is just this. We have become too politically correct for our own good. How about another definition of politically correct? Maybe it should be a world that is afraid of hurting somebody's feelings so much that the world has become paralyzed. That's a more accurate description. Some expert says something and we all think they are right. Maybe we should ask ourselves, how often are these so-called experts right? There are so many experts out there, we can't even begin to follow all of them. More and more, There is an agenda attached to whatever is said. Why do we seem to get a change of opinion every time we listen to a so-called expert? Or why is a so-called expert inclined to say what we believe at the moment, but wait, what will they say in a changed way and soon? Therefore, the only expert I'm interested in following is Jesus Christ. In case you had not noticed, we are getting further and further from the teachings of Christ. This is partially because of the fact we have not presented Christ correctly to our congregations. Another point I want to bring up is the Founding Fathers. They had ideas which were based upon Christianity. They practiced these concepts and they ran our country beautifully. For example, take the idea that you were created to think for yourself and to take responsibility for yourself, and realize that those ideas come directly from Jesus Christ. In John 4:24, he says, God is a spirit, and those that worship him must worship in truth and spirit. Truth is one of the mainstays upon which Christianity is built. In 2 Corinthians 3:17, it says, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. This means liberty is present. Where the Spirit of the Lord is present. Said another way, when the Spirit of the Lord is not present, neither is liberty. Liberty is not present unless the Spirit of the Lord is present. Have you ever thought of that idea before? That when the Spirit of the Lord is not present, neither is liberty? This is what is really being said here, and liberty is one of the mainstays of America. America is built on the principle of liberty. If you read the Bible, really read the Bible, you will learn a great deal. We did not used to have ideas our young people have and are repeating, like you don't have to follow the things that the police teach you. These things are silliness anyway. They are foolishness. Who put those thoughts in their heads? Well, you know who it was. It was the devil. Why? Because our young people are not being taught about American history anymore. It is our young people who are not being taught anything to do with God. It is because our young people are not taught scriptures, like the scripture in 2 Corinthians 3:17. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. We are not teaching our children to really read the Bible. We are not teaching our children to think about what they read in the Bible. One day I received a phone call. The caller said, Jesus Christ was a liberal, so get over it. And I said, well, I understand that liberals speak out in favor of things like gay marriage and homosexuality, but the Bible is against both of those things. And if these things are liberal beliefs, how can you say Jesus Christ was a liberal? And I should get over it. He didn't answer, and he hung up. Maybe I taught him something about speaking out on a subject he knew so little about. But when he hung up, before I could witness to him, I felt like I had really lost. We were tested by the devil every step of the way. We must learn to say things that are true according to the Bible. We must not give up when we are right. What is wrong with America? Well, number one, we are focused on the world. Number two, we are not focused on God. Number three, we have some unbelief. Number four, we are too politically correct. Number five, our pastors accept no responsibility. Six, our pastors are too worldly and not spiritual enough. Seven, our pastors are spiritually retarded. We have allowed God, number eight, we have allowed God to be ridiculed and replaced with secular things. Well, I'm just about out of time for today, and you can write to me or call me with your request. You can write to me and send me a love offering and keep me on the air, or whatever else you may want to do. I'd be happy to be your prayer partner or your friend. And the address is showing on the TV screen right now. Pastor Don Swarthout, 3817 Landridge Drive, Lexington, Kentucky, 40514. That address again is Pastor Don Swarthout, Swarthout, 3817 Landridge Drive, Lexington, Kentucky, 40514. My phone number is 859-219-1222. That number again is 859-219-1222. You can email me at swarthout5@aol.com. Swarthout is my last name, Swarthout, and the number 5, swarthout5@aol.com. We will be back next week unless the Lord comes first, and I pray that you will always hear from God, hear from the Lord before you act on anything. Please give me the opportunity to be your prayer partner or your personal friend. So long next time until we